Let me ask you something uncomfortable. You wake up every morning, you go to work, you put in the hours, you come home tired, you do it again the next day, and the day after that. And yet, at the end of the month, you look at your bank account and wonder where it all went. You're not lazy. You're not irresponsible. You're not making obviously stupid decisions. But somehow, no matter how hard you work, the money just disappears. Here's the thing that nobody tells you, and this is going to sound strange at first. Working hard has almost nothing to do with building wealth. I know, that goes against everything you were ever taught. But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see money in a completely different way. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most of us grew up with the same story playing on repeat in our heads. Work hard, get a good job, earn more money, and everything will be fine. So that's exactly what we do. We study harder. We ask for the promotion. We pick up extra shifts. We grind. And when we finally start earning more, we feel like we've cracked the code. But then something strange happens. You get the raise, and somehow 6 months later, you're just as broke as before. Maybe a little more broke, actually. Because now your apartment is slightly nicer, your car is slightly newer, and your subscriptions have quietly multiplied. This is not a coincidence. This is not a personal failure. This is a pattern, and it has a name. Economists call it lifestyle inflation, but I want you to think of it as something simpler. Your spending always finds a way to match your income, and that one thing, that one invisible pattern, is the reason millions of hardworking people never actually build wealth. Let's make this really concrete. Imagine two people, both 28 years old, both earning the same salary. Let's say the equivalent of about $4,000 a month after taxes. Person A decides that earning more is the answer. So they hustle. They freelance on weekends. By 32, they're earning $6,000 a month. Impressive, right? But their lifestyle has grown with it. Better apartment, newer phone, more dining out, a gym membership they barely use. At the end of each month, they're saving maybe $200. Sometimes nothing.
Person B keeps their lifestyle roughly the same when they get small raises. At $4,000 a month, they consistently save and invest $600. They're not living like a monk. They're just not upgrading everything every time they earn a little more. By 35, who do you think is actually wealthier? Person B. By a lot. Not because they earned more, but because they understood something person A never quite grasped. It's not about how much you make. It's about the gap between what you make and what you spend. That gap is everything. That gap is the engine of wealth. And here's where it gets psychological, because this is where most people lose the game without even knowing they're playing it. Our brains are genuinely terrible at thinking about money. Not because we're unintelligent, but because we evolved in a world where spending resources made sense. If you found food, you ate it. You didn't save it for next winter. Saving felt unnatural. Spending felt white. That instinct is still running in the background of every financial decision you make. There's a concept in psychology called hedonic adaptation. It basically means that whatever good thing happens to you, you adapt to it really quickly, and then return to roughly the same level of happiness as before. You get the new car. You're thrilled. For about 3 weeks. Then it's just your car. You move into the nicer apartment. Exciting. For a month. Then it's just where you live. So you chase the next upgrade. And the next one. Not because you're greedy, but because your brain is wired to normalize everything around you. This is why raising your income alone never solves the problem. Because the moment your income goes up, your sense of normal
quietly adjusts upward with it. There's something else going on too, something called social comparison. We don't measure our wealth in absolute terms. We measure it relative to the people around us. So when your colleague buys a new car, something subtle happens in your brain. Suddenly, your car feels older than it did last week, even though nothing actually changed. This is why people who live in wealthier neighborhoods often feel poorer than people earning half as much in more modest ones. We're constantly calibrating ourselves against the people we see every day. And in a world of social media, we're comparing ourselves to everyone all the time. The highlight reels, the vacations, the outfits, the restaurants. It's like being in a race where the finish line keeps moving. So let's put this all together. You work hard, your income grows, but your lifestyle grows just as fast or faster. Your brain adapts to every upgrade so quickly that it never actually feels like enough. And you're constantly surrounded by signals, real and digital, telling you that you should be spending more. The result? You stay exactly where you started, just with better stuff and higher bills. This is the trap, and it's brilliantly designed, not by any single villain, but by the entire system around us. Advertising exists to make you feel like what you have isn't enough. Credit exists to make spending beyond your means feel painless. Social media exists, at least partly, to make your life feel less impressive than it actually is.
None of this is your fault, but once you see it clearly, it becomes your responsibility. So what do you actually do differently? The first shift is mental, not financial. Stop thinking of building wealth as a reward you earn after you make more money. Start thinking of it as a habit you build right now with what you already have. Even if you save $100 a month starting today, you're doing something that most people never do. You're creating a gap. You're putting distance between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap, invested consistently over time, compounds into something real. The second shift is about intentional lifestyle design. Every time your income increases, pause before you upgrade anything. Ask yourself, does this upgrade actually change how happy I am? Or am I just adjusting to a new normal I'll stop appreciating in a month? Some upgrades genuinely improve your life. Pay for those. But be honest about which ones are just you keeping pace with an invisible race you never signed up for. The third shift is about automating the gap. Don't rely on willpower. Your brain is working against you. Remember, it wants to spend. So before your money has a chance to be lifestyle inflated, move a portion of it somewhere else. A savings account, an investment account. Somewhere it can start working while the rest of you goes about your day.
Pay yourself first. Every financial teacher in history has said some version of this because it's genuinely that important. The people who build wealth aren't usually the highest earners in the room. They're the people who quietly, consistently protect the gap. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. The goal was never to earn more. The goal was always to keep more and to put what you keep to work. Hard work is honorable, but hard work alone in a world designed to absorb every extra dollar you earn is not a wealth-building strategy. It's a hamster wheel with better marketing. The moment you stop chasing income as the answer and start protecting the gap as the strategy, everything changes. You stop feeling broke, not just because you have more money, but because you finally understand where it was going and you decide to send it somewhere better. So next time you get a raise, before you upgrade anything, ask yourself one question. Am I spending this money or am I building something with it? That question, asked consistently, is worth more than any salary increase you'll ever get. If this video made you see something differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper on how money, psychology, and simple habits actually build wealth, stick around. There's a lot more to explore.